violently collapsing. Abyss sounds like an in-game build. Like this is your melee chart, right? Like you could like here to get levitation mastery. This basically improves like your weapons. So which I don't know what weapons the warlock can use. Hex is your weapon to impair enemies and add magic damage. So this makes enemies do less damage and have less defense. So like that's just a debuff. What is this? This is Hex Purge. Hex is your weapon with warp enemies creating a chance they will erupt when hit. So like this does damage over time. Like I guess when you're hitting. This is Siphon. This steals life and reduces enemy damage. So I think this is a sorcerer that relies on buffs. Like there's Cleave. Psychic War. Creates a mental shield that absorbs damage from attacks and can stun melee attackers. Eldritch Blast. This is the standard warlock spell. Blast enemies that blast hex enemies with drain magical damage and refresh the duration of active hex. I don't know. We'd have to play with this. Dude, bro, this is why I'm so happy they did this. The quality of life to make it worth it. My favorite game all time gets updated. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Attack the mirror duplicates your weapons. So this just doubles your damage basically there. I don't know what... This is a summon tree. You get like a goat man. Tainted, Defiler, and then like you can bind demons, and this is like your standard tree. I think this is probably be a golem, no? Force a demon to teleport to you and attack an enemy. Forces your demon to... Oh, Death Mark. Okay, so this lets you just choose what enemy your demon wants to attack. Blood Boil. Erupt your demon's blood to the damage nearby enemies. Engorge. Heal and empower the demon. What is... It says Blood Oath. What is Blood Oath? Oh, that's Death Mark. That's Blood Boil. Engorge. Demonic Mastery. Blood Oath. Bind the 4/4. Like this is a lot to take in. It's just a lot to take in right now. Let's just play a little bit. No. My druid's still around.
Another den of evil. Let's rule them all.
Like, what build should we go with here? Like, I know people don't want to see the summon build, so I'm already like issuing the summon build out. But we could do the miasmic build, or we could do like the melee build, which Diablo 2 kind of shits on melee characters. Right? So I feel like that would be the most interesting to watch. Because like uniformly, the way Diablo 2 addresses melee, they're hard mode. And like a melee caster is most definitely going to be hard mode. But I don't know how good he's going to be. Let's see, you should use the bear arm swing build. Yeah. That would have been my summon druid. That would have been Baron. You know what? I haven't even read Miasma Bolt. Fires a bolt of darkness that releases a cloud of entropy. So it does damage over time as well. Okay. Chain Miasma and Abyss. Because I feel like Abyss is going to be the play. Because it's magic damage, like, and it's gonna be very few enemies have magic resistance and hell difficulty too. Like, so I kind of want to build towards that, because that Abyss spell seems like okay, that's going to be what the meta is, at least for the most part, in the Warlock build. Or we could do like a hybrid, because like you could do this. And like it's going to slowly eat away at the enemy, and you can still tag them with your weapon. I wish I knew what warlocks use. So did they add a fucking loot filter? They fucking added a loot filter, dog, right there. Loot filter. They added a loot filter. No, Thorn, you're not in the Shadow Realm. You're in the Broke Boy realm. This is official Blizzard DLC. Official. Dude, I wanted a loot field in Diablo for almost most of my fucking life. Like, I want to build like build toward Abyss, but I feel like that's going to be easy mode. And what am I kidding? Nobody's going to watch this shit after this stream anyway. I didn't know this shit was coming. They added a new Grail tracker too. I know what gun. I've never found Death's Web. I've never found the unique Archon staff. Main Iron. I forgot what it's called. Main Song.
The evil of this place departs with me.
I found Tyrael's Might. I've never found the Archon staff. And I've never found Death's Web. Seems like a pain to play with a controller. Nah. Let's see here. Look at stackable fucking gems. You could just have your gems stackable. This is so crazy.
Hi there.
Redface, it's up to you, pimp. Like, I just don't want you to have to babysit the stream entirely.
Hello. Welcome.
All right, let's go look at Charcy real quick. Let's repair our dagger and see what weapons the Warlock can use. Yeah, Snake, your messages work.
Yes.
All right. So it's fast attack on a hand axe. Obviously, it's very fast attack on the dagger, right? Oh, hold up. Can daggers spawn Warlock stuff now? Is that for real, not for play? Let's see here. Oh, Chrome Abyss. I missed some donations. Let me go back and read, boys. I'm sorry. Jesse Baby, yeah, it's fucking wild. I was so ecstatic because my brother let me down. It's like, oh, it's PC only. And then I'm sitting there firing up Baldur's Gate 3, gonna play some BG3, and this motherfucker pops up on my screen and goes, Diablo 2 is updated. And then I click on that bitch and it was like, buy Path of the Warlock now. I'm like, yep, I'm getting it. What up, pimp? Came here from Local. I'd rather donate to you instead of that terrible skin. Local's not terrible, man. If you enjoy it and it's a guilty pleasure, by all means support it, man. But thank you for the $5, right? Life's too short to be fucking picking and choosing what you like. If you like, listen to it and it's good background noise, throw them a couple bucks their way too. Look here, listen, look, subscribe. Yeah, fuck right, Ben. Look, listen, fuck. You, my boy, Ben. Come on. Thank you for the donation, my man. Bojangles, you ain't donated in a while, son. It's time to freshen that donation up. I want a Diablo 1 remaster. I so want a Diablo 1 remaster. So I need to pick. So it seems like this character class uses daggers. Okay, let's see here. All right, I'm gonna. They get 3 health per point. I don't remember if there's some daggers that do require dexterity. So let's go and do vitality here, but we'll do dexterity because, like, I know Wizard Spike would be fucking probably really good for this character class, right? Because, like, in my head, I don't know if they've rebalanced any of the old rune wards, but there's supposed to be 30 new rune wards and new uniques and everything else that comes with this. But just thinking about the old shit, unless there's something new, Wizard Spike's got to be close to best in slot, right? Like, I wonder if they like added stuff onto Wizard Spike to make it more Warlock based. Maddie, thank you for being a hoodlum. Fresh out of jail? How'd you go to jail? This is a single player hardcore character. Single player hardcore. I don't really play with. I don't like playing the multiplayer strictly because, one, you got to worry about people wanting to PK you. You only can play on like one difficulty most of the time because after you get past like Act 4 normal, you pretty much the games disappear. So now you're just stuck playing with whatever difficulty it is. And like, granted, I've already got a 99 character and I'm not going to ever build towards a 99 character probably again, unless I just get bored. Or maybe they made it easier to get 99, you know what I'm saying? Because like, this is a really good bish bop. This is a crazy good bish bop. Does it? Oh, does it go onto other people? Hold up, I'm trying to figure this out. It does. It hits other people. Oh, that's fucking sweet. I kind of want to do like a spell blade type character where like I'm using spells plus melee. It looks like a mobile game, not gonna lie. This game came out in 1990, 2000. But this game is 25 years old. Like, they haven't had any real significant things other than adding like 1 or 2 rune wards in forever. And even if you don't really like the Path of the Warlock, I'm gonna put it out there. You should buy Path of the Warlock even if you don't like it. If nothing else for the quality of life improvements. But because, like, I'd love to see them do this with more characters. Like, it is so exciting to me, a game I've loved my entire fucking life just now got new content. And I want to see a Diablo 1 remake. Fuck Diablo 4. Diablo 4 can eat a dick. It sucks ass. Hey, Alpha, dude, appreciate the $10. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Baldur's Gate got a fucking DLC like 20 years after the fact. And every time I seen Baldur's Gate getting DLC, I'm like, how did Baldur's Gate 1 get DLC 20 years after the fact and Diablo 2 is still the same? Wings, your old reaction to Mike Clum video was so fire. You should do reaction videos where he takes were hot and you were so enthusiastic. Yeah, people say I should do reaction videos. And like, I was talking today in my Discord with the Gulag, and like, people love watching me like do things. And people are like, dude, all fucking Asmongold does is like sit around and scroll Twitter and have roaches crawl on him, which I like a lot of Asmongold takes, right? Like, I'm not so keen on his like ice takes. He seems to be a little bit of a boot in the mouth type of guy, meaning he likes to kiss boots and like lick them. Like that kind of thing, not actually hitting. So like, and I've never been that kind of guy. Like I've never looked at like an authority figure as like somebody that's supposed to be better than me. I look at him as a necessary evil, right? You got to have somebody that watches the gate. But that doesn't make the person watch the gate more important than I am. That makes sense. Here's a superior dagger. This is our first chance to look, see if we got a skill. I wish... I haven't looked at the skill set. I wonder if there's any way to make Miasma Bolt pierce. Or like, could you use stuff like Razor Tail to make Miasma Bolt pierce? So I feel like if this thing was to pierce, it would be so good. Let's do dexterity here. Let's look at our dagger. Did we get any skills? We did not. No skills. Wait, did you ever play either of the Path of Exile games? I own Path of Exiles 2. I quit. I liked it. I liked what I played of it, but I didn't like the fact there was no trophies when I played it. So I figured I was going to put it on the back burner until they like got it out of like beta and had a full trophy list. I know that seems dumb. It's like, why you play games for trophies? It's like, I know it's part of the enjoyment for me. Right? There's certain games I could play without trophies, like the Dark Souls games and these right here, but like they're all better with trophies. Because like the first thing I looked at when I bought Path of the Warlock was like, hey, did they add any trophies? It was like, get the Warlock to 99. I mean, I know I hate that kind of achievement, but it's like, okay, now I got a reason to play Diablo 2 for fucking, 200 hours again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Spookmeister, I'm doing good. They just released new DLC like an hour or so ago for Path of the Warlock. This is new Diablo 2. Brand new class, Warlock. I need to pick a skill here soon. Let's clear the cold plains, and then we'll find a skill. We'll take a good hard look at like the skill tree and find it. I would never miss it. Dude, Thanos, dude, you've been so sweet lately, man. Thank you so much for the donations. Please don't put yourself out. I appreciate every time, man, you coming by and hanging with me. Thank you so much for the $5. Dude, Diablo 2 plays such an important role in my life. Like it's the one thing me and my brother still play together. It's like every time I have an online character, it's because me and my brother chill out and hang out and play with it. Like this and Final Fantasy Tactics are generally what me and him play. Like I know he's playing Elden Ring right now. I should see if he wants to co-op it with me. But I feel like Elden Ring is best played as a solo experience, and then later on you go back through and play it when you both understand what you're getting into. Because like I wouldn't want to ruin the Elden Ring experience for him by going through and just shitting on all the bosses. Because I think I learned with Italian God that I'm more than capable of like beating every single boss with extra health and damage by myself. Uh-oh. Alphos dropping some knowledge on us. Let's see. No social media spoof accounts. They told me how they do it and they suck. They scour chat for clues. Yeah. I've kind of understand how they like honestly, I remember when they took my PlayStation account and it came to me in a fucking dream because like it was on my mind. Like, I'm like, how the fuck did they get into my PlayStation account? They didn't guess my password because I didn't know my fucking password. No way did they guess it. Right. So I'm like, how could you get into my password? I was there thinking back. I was thinking hard. I'm like, and then it hit me and I just popped out of fucking bed. I was like, the fucking questions. Like it hit me like that. It's like these motherfuckers went back and looked at every single fucking PKA ever. Because what were the fucking questions you would answer on like your PlayStation thing? Like the security questions. It's like, what was your mother's maiden name? What was the first car that you bought? How old are you? You know, what's your grandmother's maiden name? Shit like that. Every kind of question that was on something I answered in 2006, 2007 when I made Unlimited UAV, right? Was something they could have got off PKA or the podcast show or fucking Drunk Sex or whatever podcast I was on at the time. All right. And I'm like, I wonder if they changed them. So I hop in and I answer the security questions because they're my security questions. I know what the answers to them are. And I get right back into my fucking PlayStation account just like that. There was a couple more hurdles. I ended up getting it took 2 more times because of like backup systems and like redundancy and shit like that. And you know what the whole situation actually proved to me though is how shit fucking Sony is with customer support. They are the worst customer support in the world, right? Because like they will make you promises and never keep them. Like, because like I remember talking to customer support trying to be like, yo, people stole my account. I'm a YouTube celebrity. This is who I am. I can give you my ID. I can do this. They go, okay, let's go down this route. Like, go to your email with the account and like give me the last 5 purchases you did, like serial number. So I do that. I'm like, here's the last 5 purchases. Here's all the numbers. Here's what I bought. Here's how much they cost. blah, 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 blah. This is the card they were associated with. I do all of this, and they won't give me my account back, right? All right, we got to pass this along to the next person. It's always passing along. And they got to the point where I would call back like once a week, right? To see if like, hey, you've made any progress. I haven't got a call back, whatever it might be. You know, I really want my PlayStation account back. They got to the point they started hanging up on me. It's like, you've been calling a lot recently. We don't know if we can help you. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dog, Sony sucks ass, dog. Sucks ass. You might not like that term, YouTube celebrity, but it's exactly what I am. These people all over the world know it. Am I a Brad Pitt? Fuck no, I'm not a Brad Pitt. Right? But I'm sure more people know my name than certain like Z-less actors. I mean, I'm Wings of motherfucking Redemption. I didn't want the boots. I wanted the glove. Oh, well, put the boots on. I had 10. I have like $10,000 worth of games on my account. 100%. That's legitimate. Because my account is almost 20 years old. And I've bought 3 to 6 games every year of that. And then you got to count like I've bought 3 PlayStation 3s. I bought one PlayStation 4, actually 2 PlayStation 4s if you count the Pro. You know, that kind of shit. Like I have easily over $10,000 I've given to Sony. Easily. And in my head, that makes like stealing my PlayStation account grand larceny. That's what it does. Right? Anything over $10,000, if you steal is considered grand larceny. I mean, Pitts, I was telling you when you sent me that thing, hey, man, just be quiet with this kind of stuff. It's because I don't see people fucked with, man. I'm not going to be vindictive or like shit like that about people. Like, I just don't want to see people get hurt because of some shit that people follow me around with. Because, like, here's the truth of it all, right? 2 years from now, the people that are fucking with me right now will be gone. And there'll be somebody else in their place. There'll be some new person that found a documentary from like Sunny B2 or a video of like like Breaking Banquet, and they'll get to the point where like, oh, I'm miserable. I hate this guy, blah, 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 blah. And they'll want to start fucking with me. And as long as just enough of the OG trolls are around to like push them towards it, they'll continue to do it. I need next level in strength. Hey, Tony, thank you for the 10 months. I'm sure somebody got upset when I said my PlayStation, still in my PlayStation could be considered grand larceny. I mean, let's look what's just on like my actual PlayStation library. You know, like all these costed like $60. That's not counting physical copies or PlayStation 3 stuff or physical discs or like years and years and years of fucking buying PlayStation Pro. Like I'd give Sony a lot of motherfucking money.
make for such poor servants.
Damn, throwing shade at the necromancer. My thing is, I don't give a fuck. Like people, I think it's just mean, right? But like, how much time would I give somebody stealing my PlayStation account? The same time you would get for stealing like a $10,000 car. That's my opinion. You should get the same time, whatever grand larceny is. Well, grand larceny is defined by how much an item's worth. And I can easily prove my PlayStation account's worth more than $10,000. So it would fall under grand larceny. I know you don't agree with that because, it's a toy. It's a video game, right? Different things mean to different people. Like some people, a dog's a dog. Some people, a dog's a fucking family member, right? You could use definitions by what the bounds of the law gives you definitions of. Well, here's the thing with depreciation, right? Video games are no longer a physical asset. So like games no longer really depreciate. They only appreciate for the most part, right? Because like you can't say, there's a bunch of this quantity of this, because technically every game on the PlayStation Store has a bunch of quantity because it has unlimited quantity. Right? There's not a pressing or a casting or a printing of the disc anymore. So like you can't objectify, say, a rarity. Like for example, like the reason like Corey in the House is so rare because nobody bought the bitch. And because nobody bought that bitch, that means the copies that were sitting around or floating around or people have access to are rare. Meaning you have a rare item. You could argue like, this Call of Duty is not the current Call of Duty, so it should be worth less money. But like, let's take a game like Thief, for example, like the remake of Thief. Right? Like, that's going to be valued for whatever they're willing to sell it at or whatever people are willing to buy it for a price. Not true. Just because it's digital doesn't mean it's valueless. Like take this game I just bought right here, Warlock, Path of the Warlock. They wanted $25 US for getting access to the creator character, the new rune wards, and all the quality of life. And I paid it. They go, hey, I have this digital asset. I want $25 to use it. So the fact that I gave them $25 means at this time, this asset's worth $25. And you'd have to be like appreciate depreciation of a digital asset, like because it's sold for $25 now, and it goes down to $5 on sale. Does that make it worth $5 as a digital asset, or does it make it worth $25 because it sells for $25 normally? Right there is no short run on it, and as it sits right now, we can't resell it. Why isn't GameStop a $1 trillion company then? GameStop isn't a $1 trillion company because it's so much easier to use the in-game store than it is to actually go out and buy or go to GameStop. And GameStop normally would just shit on you when you do go to it. Like GameStop killed themselves. Like GameStop used to be a store that was worth a lot of fucking money, but they sold physical assets. They didn't sell digital for the most part. They toward the ass end they did. But like GameStop ruined the reputation by always shortchanging people, saying that they refurbish things and they didn't refurbish things, telling people like their games were worthless and giving them bottom dollar, and then like holding on to games and then selling them at a higher price later on down the line. Like GameStop did a lot of shady shit.
I can hardly.
Yeah, I think this was a shadow drop. I didn't hear anything about this until my brother told me about it.
Put that to good use.
Okay, what just cost so much fucking money to fix? Okay. I didn't hear about it till just now. Like they might have did a stream, but like not for me. I said once we did this. Ooh, Stony River, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. No, it's not soda. It's unsweet tea. That kind of looks like soda, but you have to take my word for it. It's unsweet tea. It is unsweet tea. Trust me. If it was soda, I'd be gobbling that bitch back like a pig in a trough. If sweet tea was unsweet, she'd have all her teeth. You know, that's not necessarily true though. Like I know some people that have bad teeth that are just born that way. Like some people are born without the enamel on their teeth. I'm not trying to say sweet teeth was like that, but I've seen people like that. I mean, one of Kyle's cousins was like that. Just born without the enamel on their teeth, so that their teeth kind of like rotted away early on in life. So you're trying to tell me China got fucking Diablo 2 shit before America? Come on now, Blizzard. That ain't cool. Yeah, this is the new Warlock thing. I still haven't picked a skill. I said I'd do it after I cleared the Cold Plains. Here I am. All right. As soon as we find the waypoint, we'll think about picking a build. I got the mercenary now. I ain't got to do shit. And I got a red flag, and I got a red hoe, and I'm grinding out in China, so I'm getting red dough. Buck a little beanie, gotta skip a red row, got the inside, Rudolph with the outside, the red nose. What's up, buddy? Would I rather be a homosexual turtle or a mosquito? Oh, well, I'm gonna go with a turtle because mosquitoes live like 3 days total, bud.
It is
Yeah, it was funny is my troll boss is actually gray. I gotta clean my fucking cowboy hat. But yeah, my troll boss is actually gray. Yeah, Poco Don Dada, he fell off, bud. Like I seen him on a video about a year ago with like a local like South Carolina rapper, and he put a verse in, and I'm like, dog, this ain't in a Poco Don verse. Them drugs got that boy hard, which sucks because like in my head he was like one of the top lyricists of his day. Like every time a Poco Don came out with a motherfucking song, that shit was a hit. Not so much a hit radio wise, but like that shit was good every single time. All right, guys. I don't want to do demon. This is basically the summon skill tree because last time I played Diablo 2, we did the summon druid, and I doubt anybody wants to watch me sit back and just watch a demon kill everything again. I watched a documentary the other day on TV where they stated like cross draw actually beat like 90-degree draw most of the time because you had the actually chance to aim. And most of the actual gunfighters in the Wild West that actually fought people, because gunfights didn't take place at 20 paces, right? Gunfights generally took place within arm's reach of each other. And like going from this position instead of this position, like this person would always have to like bring the gun up into a 90-degree angle, whereas this person would just slap it sideways and be at a better shooting angle before anything else. Because most people would come up here and panic and shoot the ground or shoot somebody toward their legs, whereas like a cross one would always shoot middle body. And like people that did cross draw generally won gunfights because of that, like historically. Which is funny because like one of my favorite cowboy movies is Tombstone, and Doc Holliday cross draws for a similar reason to that. So I'm going to do a mixture between Eldritch and Chaos, right? We're level 6 now. So like we could do Miasma Bolt because I feel like this is the meta right here going, because I think Abyss is going to be one of the early metas of the game, right? Because like it's going to be like it's an area of effect, spammable skill, kind of like Blizzard, and it does damage over time. So it's kind of like a meteor skill, right? I feel like, but it's magic damage, so very few things resist it. So I feel like Abyss is the meta, right? I don't want to do the meta, right? So I was thinking like I could do like a melee type build. So what does this do? Hurls an astral weapon that teleports you to its impact. So this is a teleport skill. That's going to be a 1-point wonder. Creates an echo of your melee weapon that pierces through enemies. 70% weapon damage. This is just cleave. Attack all enemies in an expanding arc. That could be good. Psychic War creates a mental shield that absorbs damage from attackers and can stun. That's just a shield. Blast, Eldritch Blast, Blast Hex ability to drain magical damage that refresh during the duration of active Hex. I don't know what Hex we have. And this is Mirrored Blades. This increases your attack speed and Mirrored Blade damage. So I think this, with a combination of these hexes, these are sigils. Does something say it's a hex instead of a sigil? This is just fire here, but like we could do these sigils here. Let's do this. Let's stop talking about it and let's be about it. What does this do? Oh, this is hexes. Okay. Mirror Blade, Hex Purge. Hex your weapon to warp enemies, creating a chance they will erupt when hit. Okay. So this gives bonus damage from Hex Purge and Eldritch Blast and Mirror Blades. We probably want to go down and get Warp Blade just for the teleport. I think the sigils are going to be good too. At least these three. Because you're going to want this just for the corpse explosion. Rancor. Isn't that a fucking enemy in fucking Star Wars? This is Curse. %75% chance to enrage, huh? Let's just put one here. And we get this at level 12. We'll fuck around with Rancor. All right, so we're going to put that on triangle. This is going to be R2. What does this do? Heck, it impairs enemies and adds magical damage. Let's just have this being triangle. And we're going to roll with that for now. I wish they had like something that would tell you how long it enhances your shit. Can you not transfer items or gold from a non-DLC character? I have a low weight with gold and I can't seem to refresh the stash. What you need to do is you need to transfer the character over to Path of the Warlock. So like you have to add him to Path of the Warlock. But that will mean he only can play in Path of the Warlock lobbies at that point going forward. Let's try. That's cute. Let's see what we got here. Wings, would you rather help Imperial Japan defend their coast from Godzilla or go on an expedition across Skull Island? Question. Are we talking about 1930 Skull Island? Or are we talking about Skull Island from like the Peter Jackson movie? I think the answer is the same either way. I'd rather fuck with Godzilla. Because like Godzilla is he's just a big ass fucking lizard that, 80% of the people that in Tokyo just like walk the other way and Godzilla didn't fuck with him, right? Like he tore up like trains and shit like that and destroyed big buildings. But like for the most part, Godzilla didn't fuck with too many people. You didn't have like Godzilla out here snacking on somebody, like chewing them in their mouth or some shit, like King Kong did. Rich creamy sauce. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs, my man. Like the original Godzilla film is the only one that's good anyway. I say it. I'll say it, boy. Hey, Gary. Hey, Pimp. Glad I caught a Diablo live stream. I'm glad you did too, Gary. Appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much for the $5. Godzilla -1 entered the chat. I've watched -1 and like it was all right, but I'm more when I'm referring to like Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Ghidorah, Godzilla versus Baragon, you know, that kind of shit where it became like Godzilla's literally doing like drop kicks and shit and like doing like entire ass fucking suplexes on other monsters. I mean, I think I've seen Godzilla do a vertical suplex on a dude and a power bomb in one of those movies. All right, like the original Godzilla was like an anti-war movie where like they created the oxygen destroyer and the scientist ends up killing himself with the oxygen destroyer after destroying all his notes because he didn't want the world to have the oxygen destroyer to fuck with each other with it. Like it had a good depth and meaning to it. Whereas every other Godzilla movie was a children's movie. And that's why like the other big like kaiju, I think what they're called, kaijus, right? Was Gamera. Like what was Gamera's hook? Gamera's a friend of the children, right? He had Kenny and all that other shit right that, you know. Like that's why they had that hook because they're trying to capture like the child viewer. Yeah, I never understood King Kong versus Godzilla. Never understood it. I always said it this way. Godzilla, size of a skyscraper. King Kong climbed a skyscraper. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. It's stupid to have the whole concept. I disagree with that, Rich. I mean, I really, really liked Cloverfield. I know it was a found footage movie in a period where like found footage movies were considered lame, but Cloverfield is an interesting movie in an interesting era, but they fucked it up so badly by like shoehorning other movies into the Cloverfield lore without actually making a dedicated Cloverfield movie. Right? Because like 10 Cloverfield Lane is probably the best movie in the series from like a actual movie standpoint. Jay Searchy, forget Tokyo Godzilla's taking your ass to Suplex City for these reviews. Yeah. I used to watch a lot of Mystery Science. By the way, Jay Searchy, thank you for the $20, man. You an OG killer boy. But like I think it was Mystery Science Theater 3000. They would always have Godzilla doing his drop kick as like part of their intro. And I always thought it was dumb as fuck. I gotta say, like, this cleave so far feels underwhelming. Thank you so much for the $20, Jay Searchy. Dude, I enjoyed the original Cloverfield, especially with like how they marketed it. I don't know if most of you guys weren't alive when the original Cloverfield came out, but the way it was marketed is they marketed it like nobody knew what the zombie looked like, right? Well, the zombie. Nobody knew what the monster looked like, and they hid it from the internet. Because I remember looking deep into the internet trying to find this thing. I remember one person thought they had what it was. It was like this giant whale looking thing, and standing next to the Statue of Liberty and whatever. And then they had all these things about like a soda company drilling on the bottom of the ocean, and like they had all this lore that went with it. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool, right? And then the movie came out, and then they had the ending of the movie where it showed like a satellite falling into the water. You're like, is that the monster landing? And no, is that like, I think they ended up saying J.J. Abrams instead of saying, no, that's just a satellite. Like he destroyed like all the wonder of the movie. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction with like what's in the box or what's in the suitcase. Like some people think it's Marcellus Wallace's soul. Some people think it's diamond and gold. A polyswag. I mean, you ain't got to give me money to play Arc Raiders, would you, man? Like if I'm playing Arc Raiders and you want to play, just show up to the stream. I'm most always looking for people to play, dude. The race scientist? That had to have been a juicy comment. Thank you for the $5 though, bud. Polyswag. Yeah, it does. Like there's a lot of things that don't stand up to scrutiny. Like I think the only movie that's really stood the test of time to scrutiny was like John Carpenter's The Thing. I think that's the only movie that's like like people like worship that stands up to every scrutiny that it actually gets put into it. Straight up to like timelines and like chronological and everything else. Like when people go to the Thiacom and everything like that, everything is accounted for. No Halloween 3? Come on, man. Halloween 3. The motherfucker has sex with a robot and doesn't realize he's having sex with a robot. Let's get her out of here with Halloween 3. Like, I love Season of the Witch. I think it's the best Halloween film. And that's a hot fucking take, right? That's a hot fucking take. But it's not a chronological masterpiece. It has the most fire theme song though. 6 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 6 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. That whole London Bridge is falling down theme, that shit was tight. Tight. Woo, give me more shit like that. Mr. Wings, any thoughts on the news spiel about Alien Contact closure day? I haven't seen it. I think it's time Steven Spielberg like put the alien shit up, bud. Like I'm honestly more interested in James Cameron going back to the Terminator franchise. Jay Searchy, thank you for the 40 Alien Pimp. The Thing is my favorite horror movie. Might be the best movie ever made. Like, honestly, like, best movie ever made. John Carpenter's The Thing from Another World remake. I'm going to put it out there.
What can I do for you?
Which is funny because John Carpenter also made Halloween, which is also like people consider like the start of the slasher genre. Dog, I was watching an interview with Emilio Estevez yesterday, and Emilio Estevez says he's written a sequel to Maximum Overdrive, and I made a tweet about this too. Like, I really love Maximum Overdrive. As a kid, I loved semi trucks. I thought they were the coolest thing ever. You had the Green Goblin truck. You had all the trucks like driving around the truck stop and things like that. You had an armory underneath it. You know, we made you. You had like the kid getting ran over. You had and shit like that. Maximum Overdrive was a fun fucking movie. And King, like, everybody's like, oh, this is a bad movie. No, you're a bad movie watcher. Maximum Overdrive is a fun movie. All right. And Emilio Estevez, who starred in Maximum Overdrive, wants to do a sequel where he takes his character from Maximum Overdrive and he owns a truck stop now. And it's like a truck stop / diner. And then you have Guy Fieri come by and he's doing like those diner dives, like shit, like at his truck stop. And then shit goes to hell again from there. So you have Emilio Estevez and Guy Fieri in like this fucking fun like truck movie where like machines run amok. That would be a fun fucking movie to watch, right? Like that is something I'd want to see in my life. That's what we need more of the films. We need more of that and less fucking superheroes. I could give a fuck less about how Spider-Man deals with the Flash or like anything else that comes with that. You know, like I'm so sick of Marvel movies and I'm so sick of people that worship Marvel movies. Every time I hear somebody say Avengers Endgame is their favorite movie, I'm like, dog, you just don't watch movies, right? Like that, you know, that could be me. That could be like a snob situation with me. Whereas like I've watched so many movies and I've absorbed so much television from like being a millennial. It's like when you say like the Avengers Endgame is the best movie ever made, I'm like, did you not watch Shawshank Redemption? Like I understand movie opinions are subjective, but you can't watch something like Shawshank Redemption and put Avengers Endgame in as the same quality of movie, right? And that's just an example, right? Like The Shining is, in my opinion, is like one of the greatest movies ever made. Full Metal Jacket, like Kubrick's got a couple on there, right? You know, Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump. Like there's so many movies that are better than fucking Avengers Endgame. Green Mile. That's like saying Avatar is like this top movie because it sold a lot. And I always hit him with the same fucking response. Lil Wayne sold millions of fucking records. That don't make Lil Wayne the greatest rapper alive. It just doesn't. That's a red flag for sure. No Marvel should ever be in the conversation of best action movie, let alone best movie. Yeah, even if you put it action movie by itself, I'm putting Terminator 2 ahead of anything fucking Marvel puts out. Anything. Terminator 2 is better than any Marvel movie ever put out. I'm gonna go so far as to say this. You guys remember the Dolph Lundgren Punisher? Like that was the first like Marvel movie. Thank you, Jay Searchy, for the $60, man. Thank you so much. It's not even about superhero slot movies. Like, I understand. Some people like them, right? Some people really like Green Arrow, the TV show. But to, like, unabashedly say that this movie is just better than, like, some actual classic movies. Some movies that people poured their heart and soul into. Dog, I'd put Gremlins ahead of Avengers Endgame. Like, Gremlins is such a well put together movie that everybody that took part of Gremlins put more love into Gremlins than that script called for. Every single one of them. Yeah, y'all laughing at Gremlins, but like I'm sure somebody would agree with me on that. How fast does this guy swing with the dagger? Because like the thing I'm having with Cleave is I wonder if Cleave is faster attack rate or is it cast rate to actually make it faster? Because like one of the big downsides I'm having with it. Because it feels like they want you to sit there and tank with it. And it's kind of hard to sit there and tank with it. I don't see it. Oh, I keep forgetting to hex this thing. I feel like the hex on the blade itself, it doesn't do enough to let you know it's active. How long does that thing last? 144 seconds. So it lasts a while. Jay Searchy, dude, thank you for the 80. I like the first run Marvel movies. I would never try to argue they're great movies. Aliens, Terminator, Gremlins, Total Recall, Goodfellas. I could go on. What would you consider the first run of Marvel movies? Like I was about to say, Punisher with Dolph Lundgren? I fucking liked Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like Punisher with fucking Thomas Jane. I think that was his name. I thought Punisher with Thomas Jane sucked ass. And I live every day realizing that George Miller is so old that we're probably never going to see another Mad Max with Carl Urban. Because in my opinion, Carl Urban hit Max direct, right? Carl Urban is Mad Max now, and he is Judge Dredd. You need to sequel fucking Judge Dredd. Come on, Hollywood. That's a top 5 all-time fucking action movie right there. That Judge Dredd reboot? God, that's a movie. That's a movie, boy. Ooh, if you've never seen it, go watch the Judge Dredd reboot with fucking Carl Urban. That is, ooh. Yeah, I watch Weapons. The Punisher series, yeah. I watched a couple episodes of it. It's very by the beat. You're talking about the Raid, but like they came out similar because Judge Dredd with the setting that it took place in, it actually took it from a comic book story from the same idea. Because there's another Japanese movie called The Raid that came out that had a similar structure where like cops had to go up a fucking skyscraper and fight people up the floors. That was just more coincidence than anything else. See, Jay Searchy, Judge Dredd, great. Carl Urban is very underrated. Like he was a great Mad Max and Fury Road too. Because like I remember somebody came into my chat telling me like, you remember action movies have been terrible forever now. I'm like, dog. Fury Road came out in 2015. Like Fury Road is just balls to the wall action for the most part. It's just one big long car chase. And it's fucking beautifully shot. Like the world's gonna lose a real one when George Miller finally kicks the bucket, because that man's what, 70 or 80 years old now? Yeah, it's 11 years ago. He made Furiosa just recently, and nobody went and see it. I went and see Furiosa. Fucking dope ass movie. Oh, Tom Hardy. I'm not bad. Tom Hardy, you're right. Ikebali, you're 100% right. For some reason I was thinking Carl Urban was, but yeah, Carl Urban was Judge Dredd. Tom Hardy was Max. Yeah, Tom Hardy needs to be Mad Max in another George Miller Mad Max before George Miller hangs up the shoes. That needs to happen. Speaking of Furiosa, they did a such a good job recreating the main bad guy from Fury Road. I forgot his fucking name. People are gonna lose credibility with it. But like the guy that's all in white with the big gas mask. Because like that's not the same actor. Because the actor actually died. Because the actor originally played Toe Cutter in the original Mad Max, and he came back and played Immortan Joe in the in Fury Road. But the guy who played Immortan Joe and Toe Cutter died in between Fury Road and Furiosa. But like they got his look dead fucking on. Like you could not tell that it was a different actor. You see, the thing with fucking Walton Goggins is every time I see him, I just see him as a racist like sheriff in fucking The Hateful Eight. Like every time I see him, I'm like, he's just the racist sheriff of The Hateful Eight. That's the character he always plays. He always plays like a racist, like cowboy type archetype. Right. Oh, we got 2 levels up here. Let's go 1 there. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and put 5 here. Yeah, dude, Jurassic Park got way too fucking. I'd like to see like a Jurassic Park relaunch with like what we know with dinosaurs nowadays, like T-Rex has feathers, that kind of thing. That is true. So you see it too, right? I didn't see Justified or The Shield. In Justified, that cowboy movie, it's like a cop that's like a quick gunslinger, railing something. Isn't that what Justified is? Thoughts on Scream 7 coming out? Dog, I haven't seen Scream 2. Like I've never liked the fact that they would constantly change Ghostface, and they've never brought one of the original Ghostface back. But that's a Geordie problem. That's not a critique problem. But like the critique I have with the Scream series is how they've had so many different Ghostface, and it's like the idea is like, oh, it's a Halloween costume anybody can buy, so anybody can use like the Ghostface killer like repertoire, but they always do everything just like him and go after the same people. Like if they were going to use like another guy being a copycat killer, why are they going after Cindy, and shit like that? Why is it always the main characters from the original movie that keep getting fucking hunted by a Ghostface copycat? Like that's where I lose credibility with Scream. Funny enough, I've actually met Danny McBride too. He won't remember it. But I auditioned for he had a show here called East Down and Bound, because like Danny McBride actually works out of Charleston, South Carolina. And one of the seasons he did here in Myrtle Beach. And they were looking for extras for like season 6 of East Down. I don't know what season it was. It was one of the later seasons of East Down and Bound. I'm doing the happy feet here. So like he was at the auditions I went to, and I did like an audition act. He was like, I'm not a good actor. I just thought I could probably get the part because I'm a fat bitch. Because I've always wanted to be in a like 5 Lines or Less role. I never did a security guard. I'd done a UPS driver in a movie that never came out called Hang Dog. I still want to get my first IMDb credit. Wiggs, did you actually enjoy Destiny 2? I've never actually given Destiny 2 a super fair shot. The last time I tried to play Destiny 2 is when like Blackout like basically bribed me to play it. And like I was like, dude, this guy's giving me so much scratch. I gotta at least attempt play this fucking game. And like, I don't know, I just never could get into it. Like it's never been a thing like, oh, I need to go play Destiny 2. I want to play Destiny 2. Professor Surge, you know what, man? I love your single player streams. Thank you so much, dude. Like I love playing single player streams because like to me, like especially a game like this, I don't have to think about it much. So like I could very easily just sit here and play and talk to you guys. Oh, set that down. Let's go back to town. Thank you so much, Professor Surge. Big ups, Jay Searchy, too. Thank you for the almost $100. That ain't.
Yes?
Well, I when I played Destiny recently, I felt like I was so out of the loop that it was almost to the point where like the game had moved so far that I couldn't understand what was happening. I didn't know what the storyline was happening, what the fucking witch was, and shit like that. And it's like, okay. I just don't know what's going on. Just don't know what's going on. Okay, so I could just move these over with square. That's even better. Even better. Give my
Put that to good use.
mercenary armor.
Good to see you.
I need to find a hunter's bow with 3 sockets or a long bow. Here's a belt. Upgrade chain boots. Yes, sir. That being said, dude, this is so much nicer. Holy moly.
Good evening.
There's a shield I can use. There's a helmet. I wish, like, maybe I could look for a dirk at this point. That's probably what I should be doing. Let's see if I can gamble a dirk. Because, like, I'm not using miasma no more. The miasma bolt. So, like... Oh, they've put a sound on this? So we're looking for a dirk or rondelle. We should be able to gamble them at this point. Jay Search, I got an executive credit on IMDb for a movie called Dead Format. It's coming out later this year. My friend and I interviewed the director last month on our podcast, Horror for the Holidays. Dead Format. Oh, nice. How do you get an executive? No, I got a executive producer. How do you get that? Actually, don't tell me, because like you're giving away too much information. People will start fucking with you. Please don't tell me. Thank you again for the big donations tonight, Jay Searchy. I keep looking at this balance knife, like, oh, there's the rondelle. What level are we? Level 9. It might be level 11 before we can get like a rondelle or something when they upgrade the weapons. Because I haven't even seen the dagger yet. And I know the dagger is in the opening slew of weapons. Can you at least give me a dagger? I'm wondering if throwing daggers would work under the damage profile. All right, chat. Tell me if I pass one and call me an idiot. I've seen throwing daggers. I haven't seen a rondelle, a dirk, or a regular dagger yet. I'll do 5 more pulls. If I don't even glimpse at them, yeah, we're just gonna wait till level 11. Hey, thank you for the $3, Alpha. Thank you so much, dude. All right, so we got a new shield. So, like, shields, generally you want to put amethyst in, but, like, I'm going to hold off right now. Hold off right now. It's up to the podcast. Our podcast, Horror for the Holidays. You have a podcast, Jay Searchy? Is it on? Could I get it on like my iPhone? I'm not seeing a dagger here either. Huh. Daggers usually happen on this page. All right. We're about to go up a level. All right. Not good. Not good. All right. Quit going up a mercenary, girl. Come on. All right, we got him out. Holy moly! Yeah, it's available everywhere pretty much. All right, I'm about to listen to that because like I've been just searching for a new horror movie podcast because I usually watch the horror show, but like the original member of the horror show, kind of like one of them, I don't know how to call it, what to call it, had an existential crisis and just decided he couldn't do the podcast no more. So like. And now he does it with like his girlfriend or some shit like that. And it's not as good. Because she comes off like weird. Like she kind of like forces like watching horror movies. Where I love horror movies. I love hearing people talk about them. What's my favorite soda? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. I'm simple pimple control when it comes to that shit. What happened to Jolt Cola? I tell you what happened to fucking Surge. That shit sucked ass. I know you didn't ask about Surge just now, but like every time I hear something like Jolt Cola or Royal Crown Cola or anything like that, it's like some things are just meant to die. Hey, we're on our 4th year. It gets better as it goes on. Halloween do every October is our favorites. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about shit like Joe Bob Briggs, and why does like Joe Bob Briggs like format not work in a mass like media kind of thing? Because I remember like as a kid growing up watching like Monster Vision on like TBS, and like I've always and like then it just disappeared. And then you see, like, now I learned as an adult, I learned like, oh, Joe Bob Briggs has like this huge like following, but at the same time, it's like it never is enough to like really pull money. And like hearing Joe Bob Briggs talk about horror movies, you could tell he legitimately likes horror movies. Like he'll go deep into like the fucking Italian days of Italian horror, like Claudio Fragasso and like Louis Fulci and shit like that, and like even like movies were like rip-offs like Alien 2, Alien Earth and shit like that. Oh, I'm looking for the waypoint. It's right there. I had already gotten it. I'm a dumbass. All right. Let's go back to town. Jay Searchy, dude, thank you for like the 100. You basically just gave me my whole donation goal tonight. Appreciate the love, big homie. It's almost time for Kane. I'm wondering, will this work with like Cleave? Like anything work with Cleave? Listen. That increases the damage. Like, will Cleave just work with anything? I don't have to use daggers. I should have some skills left. Oh, yeah, I do. But we're almost level 11. We'll just look back at it level 12. Did we get the scrolling furnace? Oh, it will. Okay. And my question is, like, does this skill right here just add damage? All right. That's 4% damage. 6 and 28. It does. Like, any weapon I use will just add flat damage to it. Okay.
Pity its fruits are just this scroll.
Any plans for Kelly with Valentine's Day? No. I haven't really thought that far ahead. We said we're going to go Valentine's Day on the 13th instead of the 14th. Like, go out for dinner for it. Because generally, if you wait to the 14th, you can't get it anywhere. Like, everywhere going out, it's the least romantic thing possible to, like, go out on Valentine's Day. Because, like, if you go anywhere like Olive Garden or something of that nature, like, you're just going to be stuck waiting in line or sitting in a doorway with, like, cold weather coming in on you. So we have made that far plans, but we haven't really made concrete plans, no. I'm using Olive Garden as an example. Like, Olive Garden's a big deal for some people. You act like nobody takes their woman to the Olive Garden.
When half measures are taken with deep
kind of wish you could make the thing a little bit bigger. Oh, Alpha, appreciate it. Welcome to the pits of unemployment. Dude, I'm so happy I'm out in the pits of unemployment. Not so much like your name, but like I'm like the whole which I kind of miss playing Gunfight on Black Ops 6. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I really enjoy Gunfight, and it's not good on Black Ops 7. Like, they didn't put any love into it. And you know what I miss the most? And I know you didn't go into this rant, but I miss that gunfight tournaments from Cold War. Like, that was peak gunfight. So like Kelly wants to bring Dark Souls with Kelly back, and I'm like, I'll do it once you beat the Taurus Demon on Switch. So last night while I was streaming, she sat around and played and started a new Dark Souls file on her Switch, right? And I get off and I go see where she's at and see if she needs help. She is stuck on the very first she's stuck on the very first fucking enemy, trying to kill it with her broken straight sword, and she stayed there for fucking 3 hours. 3 hours. Like, she had ran past the first enemy and she kept coming back to beat it because she couldn't beat it, so she ran past it, and she found her sword and her shield, but at no point did she like try to put it on. I was impressed that somebody had that little, like, yeah, she's determined. I'm like, you sat here 3 hours. At no point did you like press buttons to try to figure out how to get to the menu or like read anything on the ground. So like within 10 minutes of me like showing her how to equip her sword, she had beat the Asylum Demon. So she sat there 3 hours not wanting to ask me how because she was stuck. I don't know how to take that. Minor potion. Let's grab more dexterity. All right. Candy Boy is done. Yeah, but 3 hours? 3 hours? Do I like Diablo 3? I like Diablo 3 when it came out enough. But do I think it's a great game? No. No. All right, we're just going to put these two things right here in this bow. And we're going to give that to her.
Put that to good use. Greetings.
Okay, I can do this at any tab as well. That is fucking nice. Holy coly, that is good. So we're level 11 now, almost level 12. So let's play with the loot filter while we're doing this. So I want to hide all white items at this point. Like, I don't need ammo. Let's see. Edit rule. Inferior. More options. Rename. Okay, we could rename. All right, so you could just customize these. So like this one is just ammunition. Hide other classes. So this one is equipment. So expand category. So like, okay, so like I want to see scepters. I want to see wands. I want to see throwing. And that's it. And we're going to hide those. All right, so those shouldn't drop anymore. So let's play around with it. Did we grab Kane? We did.
Hello.
Okay, Kane is done. No. Honestly, no. Like I'm trying to, like somebody made a comment on one of my YouTube channels just recently, and it made a lot of fucking sense. Let me read that comment to you guys, because I've highlighted it a couple times. It goes, this is an excerpt from a much larger comment, but it goes, no matter what you do, no matter how much you censor yourself to not attract haters, they will never stop. They invested in you and they're never going to let it go. To them, this is like a real life documentary that they can take part in. You are their Tiger King or whatever you want to be. And so if you think you can wait them out or act calm and whatever, it is not going to work. DSP has tried to stop doing all the things they complain about. He still has the same haters every day watching and bitching at him. They just make up new stuff to bitch about. And that resonated with me. It's like, I've been muting my personality for fucking years and trying to be the perfect person for them, and they just keep doing the same shit forever and ever again. So like, fuck it. I'm not going to mute my personality no more. I wish this little sigil lasted longer. I know I need to see if it does go up in time. I don't think this is the one you're going to use anyway at the end of the road, because it seems like the Warlock is designed to face tank the fuck out of things. At least the melee one is. All right, we got level 12. We got new shit. So we got Sigil of Rancor now. Lay a sigil on the ground and enrages those who enter it. Let's put that out and let's put that on R1. All right. Sigil of Rancor. It's like, does this one get bigger? No, its radius never gets bigger, but its duration does go up. So like, so this one, when I'm inside of it, I do 50% more damage and my attack speed goes up. This one, when enemies are inside, they get negative 50% run walk and negative 50% attack speed. They take 20% more damage and their defense is lower. I don't know which one of these will be better. And this one is the one you cast after you kill a couple things. This is going to be just a precursor to Blade Warp, because that seems like a teleport. And this one is the one that it goes into Cleave and Mirrored Blades. I think, does Mirrored Blade gets purged? No, Mirrored Blades has nothing. Hex Bane just adds flat magic damage. This one, Hex Purge. Hex is your weapon to warp enemies, creating a chance they will erupt when hit. This adds a magic explosion. We're going to put a point into it just to try it out. Like, we're going to probably have to respec at some point. All right, so new shit. New shit to play with. All right. Can we mixture this with Cleave? Let's go look what this. Let's get a group of enemies like this together. Oh, I see. That's neat. It boomerangs. All right, let's try out. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we got the next waypoint here. So let's do this. Like mechanically, oh shit. Mechanically, this is kind of challenging, but it's not because I ain't got the muscle memory down yet, and I'm still learning. All right, let's try this. So like anybody that enters this has a chance to fight each other, but like I'm almost at the point where I'm like, the other one is just going to be better. The slow one. And the reason I say this is because like it sounds really good, like to have enemies fight each other, but the radius is so small. And the radius is so small and the duration is too small. I can see this warp blade thing being a build. Like you throw the warp blade down and then you throw like you can do some shit like this. Walk around the hex, throw the warp blade. Well, is this true that you're a Mexican descent? No. Like, I've been accused of being Asian descent before, which, okay. But I'm actually like German ethnicity.
Oh, fresh blood smells
That's actually kind of tight.
When overburdened,
Like that's more of a DPS heavy, whereas the other ones are more of a defense heavy. Hmm. Let's go to town. Ah, McCrady's the name of my grandfather. I don't know where it comes from. It sounds Irish, right? Let's see what it sounds. McCrady's primarily found in Americas. There was 100% of McCrady's live, 100% live in North America. Name origin. It's an Irish origin, but I'm not Irish at all. Like Irish tend to have like red in their beard and shit like that. Like I got none of that. Let's see where the Jordan family names come. Jordan is primarily a Christian name derived from the Hebrew Yarden, refers to the river of Jordan where Christ was baptized. It is a common surname in Europe during the Crusades when pilgrims brought back water from the river to christen their children. So like everything here screams Anglo-Saxon.
Good evening.
Dude, that ring I just sold, I need that back. 1 max damage stamina. Yeah. Getting that back. You know what I haven't been paying attention to? If white shit's been dropping. This can go my mercenary.
Put that to good use.
Put that over there. Can we just do it from the personal tab? No, we can't. But if you're on any of these tabs, it will go. Which, that's tight. Look at this shit again. This gives you more damage and enemy defense. This one just gives you damage and attack speed. I feel like this one is going to be the better one. I don't know. But I feel like they're both probably 1-point wonders. Because they don't scale that well. They get 1% damage, 1% enemy defense. Neither one scales well. Whereas Cleave gets faster with more points and the arc gets bigger. Okay. Bane gives you attack rating and magic damage. And it also lowers enemies' defenses and attack rating. So, whereas Purge just has this explosion and gives you higher attack rating and speed with a flat rate magic damage. Well, no flat rate damage at all. It just gives you the explosion, and the explosion is 10 to 16. and you can get 200% more magic damage. So like that's can get up to like 1,000-ish, and then it scales hard from there. So you got to get like level 30 to make it do real good damage. What is this one? This one, Siphon. So this just gives mana after each kill. This is a good attack ring. Let's put 2 points here. Let's put another point here. We'll hold on for right now. Mass. You've never heard the British talk about Wendy's? I could get Rich in here to talk about Wendy's for you. Mr. Wings, no, I'm like, I come from a Southern Free Will Baptist background. Like, we were Southern Free Will Baptists growing up. See, I feel like this is the build. At least for right now. Like, I can see old book. Hold up. New shit. Adds 3 to 8 fire damage? Okay. You also get 1 Blood Oath, which is this, which is a summon shit. But the 3 to 8 fire damage, I will take. Like, I like the fact that they added the books into this game. I always said Necromancer should have had, like, a book instead of, like, the heads. Because, like, you're missing a chance for, like, the Necromancers to have the Necronomicon. Like, when they designed, like, the heads in, like, the DLC, I'm like, come on now. Necromancers have a sunken head. That's more of a witch doctor than anything else. Give the Necromancers a book. Give them a book. And now Warlocks come with the book, where I think Warlock would probably be... Book makes sense for them too, but like, I think a severed head would fit better with them. Grocery stores have Wendy's. I don't like the Wendy's chili in the grocery store book. All right, so I've noticed that white armor is still dropping. So is like crude stuff. Is my loot filter just not working? Hide other class, hide inferior gear. Show accessories, show magic, show rare, show socketed, show sets. Show uniques. Maybe that will stop it. Tower Cellar level 5. See what my new book does. It has 3 to 5 magic damage. Do that and just sell that one. See, like, it's still dropping white skull caps, so why? Is there any way to get it so, like, it just doesn't show white items? Hmm. Let's see. How the fuck are we getting to Israel talking about food? Wings, we're too cool to talk about Israel, right? Dude, I don't know anything about Israel, my man. I know America gives a lot of fucking money to Israel. That's all I know.
And blood is welcome to my cause.
All right. So we got demonic mastery on this dagger. Just going to keep that for now. In our book, we got death mark, but it's ethereal. Okay.
Good to see you.
Warlock. I'm sure Warlock's a very popular class right now. I'm almost positive it is. I'm sure everybody and their mom is playing Warlock at this moment in time. Jordy, thanks for doing so much for us. We were really hard streaming every day. Here's some money for Valentine's Day. Ask that roommate out. I'll get around to doing that. The roommate will be very happy that she gets asked out. All right. Time for the Tomei Highlands. I got a question. Like, anybody that's actually messed with the loot filter, what am I doing wrong that it's not allowing me to like take like these low quality boots and superior stash and shit like that out? Are you guys talking about voting now? Like being pro like two party is not that big of a take or big of a stretch. And the main reason for that is because like no matter the way our current voting system is set up, there's always going to be two parties, never going to be a third party. And any real significant chance of it winning. And the reason that is because of like majority rules. Like say you had like 4 parties instead of 2 that there currently is, right? What's going to end up happening is one party is going to somewhat align with one of the 2 major parties, and people are going to vote for what they align with. Like candidate A and candidate B might be similar, but they might be divisive on certain topics. But candidate A might not get nearly as many votes as candidate B every year. So what eventually happens is people from candidate A start voting for candidate B because because they don't want candidate C to win, which is very different than their views. And every now and then you'll get somebody to run as like an independent or something like that in the race. But all that does is guarantee a win for the other candidate. All right. So if candidate A came in because he didn't like how candidate B was running things, but candidate B is the majority party leader, but they definitely both hate candidate C. Candidate C is going to win because candidate D voted for candidate C because they knew candidate D had no chance to beat candidate B unless they stopped up because they knew candidate A was going to vote for candidate B. It always draws down into a two-party system in every way possible. So, like, arguing about the party systems is like, whatever. Like, call them what you want. Like, I always say the same thing. They're two wings of the same birds, too fat to fly. It doesn't matter what you call them. Democrat, Republican, Democrat. All of it's just ideas and a bunch of people lying to you to get you to vote. There's a bunch of people lying to you to get you to vote. I can tell you with utmost certainty, I've been on this planet almost 40 years. No sitting politician has ever changed my life dramatically. You get a little bit more taxes this way. You get a little bit off gas this way. Groceries are 8% cheaper here. All of it's went up every year. Nobody's made drastic, sweeping changes. I'm sort of thinking about, I remember a Diablo 2 Resurrected dev telling people they couldn't do a loot filter and or stackable gems in the Diablo 2 Resurrection engine. It would take too much effort. Here we are with stackable loots and shit and gems in a Diablo 2 fucking situation. Can I ask? Oh, Meth, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss your donation. Dirt says, Jordy, thanks for being with us. So, if I upgrade all my characters expansion with my entire stash category, still have items in my old stash. Thank you for the help. Meth, you know what? Let me grab this waypoint and let's see. Let's change. Oh, what is this? Oh, that's a built-in Lucky Grail system. All right. So here's the Malakar, my warlock. All right, let's change characters. So see, these are all old characters. All right, this is Corellis. Let's convert him to the warlock. Once converted, he cannot be played in Diablo 2 expansion games. That's fine. All right, so he's converted. Let's go to Hell difficulty. None of my shared stash is here. But let's see something. I have all these. Let's just do the sapphires right now. I can put the sapphires here. And I can put this rune here. Let's convert my room mule. Because I should convert everything, but I just don't want to lose any of the shared stash if I don't have to. Let's see what's in my shared stash right now, right? Because people say my druid is done. No, here's the druid right here. Here's my druid. I have these 3 pages of the shared stash regularly. And I have some good shit here. I got a low rune. You know, I got gold runes. I got vexes. I got good shit here. So I'm not going to convert him right away. Let's change character. Let's convert. Like I said, I got a rune mule, I think. It's called rune mule. Yeah, rune mule. All right, let's convert him. Just to see how this works. So like we have all this. I don't know how to get. So we could technically just, like, I don't even need this rune mule anymore. Because I used to throw runes away.
Good day.
Here's what I'm going to do with these shared task tabs, Myth. I'm like, to make sure I don't lose the shared task tabs, I'm going to take this mule I'm emptying right here. I'm going to dump all my runes and shit onto this guy and put them in my rune tab. And then I'm going to like then I'm going to just move all the runes over. And then I'm going to just slowly move the items over and then convert all my mules. Game's boring, bro? No, I had almost 300 viewers here earlier. We just don't have nothing to talk about right now. Somebody give me a topic. Right, you're just going to clear your 3 stair stashes. But like it's not going to be that hard for me because like one of my stash pages is just runes that I keep on, because I had a system in place where like let's talk about DSP. I don't know anything about DSP that much. I'm not going to risk that.
Good day.
I'm eventually going to convert all my characters, even my 99, over. Because I think in a long enough timeline, I want to get 99 with every character class. Will I denounce Epstein? Sure. Fuck Epstein and anybody like Epstein. Like, what are you talking about? Okay, so like, how can we do this? Since this guy's converted, he can't get into a game with my rune stash mule. See, what I could do is I could delete this mule, make one that's not. So I could delete this guy, delete the rune mule. Since I just cleaned them off, create a new one that's in regular base Diablo 2.
Good day.
Huh. There's no way to make characters that aren't in Path of the Warlock. Let's delete him. So what I could do is I could take like this character, which I give no shits about, because this is just a regular ass character I was playing. And I could use her as a make sure none of those charms are actually worth a fuck. No, they aren't. And we'll move her over, put all my runes. 'Cause like my runes are what I care the most about. Like I don't even know what's in the other shared stashes. A bunch of junk. I'll keep that too. All right. Those are trash. Trolls are kind of spinning up. Did not mean to dig a limb room back. I know this is boring as fuck, boys, and I'm sorry. You can create a non-expansion character in Mule Transfer as triangle in the character select creation thing. Okay, I'll look at that as soon as I do this. I'm gonna do it this way for my runes, just because in my head it feels safer. Because I don't know what runes go into the new rune words. It's mostly a mod chat? No, it's not true. I have like 250 people in here every day chatting about different stuff. All right, so let's leave out here. We're going to convert her. All right. Now we're going to play with her. I got a lot of motherfucking limb runes. Does Wings know Red Face left? Like, I thought he left for this evening. What happened to Red Face? So I'm looking, I don't see anything. me message him. I didn't think my political take was that bad. Cool. Cool. This is going to be one of the better things here. I don't know what people are saying, like red face. I don't know. I sent him a message. He's my friend. I've told him multiple times he don't got to donate anything to me. Like, I appreciate donations, but like I don't want people to be put out. Did you hear the trolls dox Jay Searchy? Is Jay still in here? I mean, he I scrolled all the way up, but like, I mean, like, it only scrolls up so far, man. Like I scrolled all the way up and he had already left at that point. Like, I don't get to see the entire conversation link. I'd have to go back and watch it. Why would YouTube, first off, why would YouTube punish me for somebody getting doxxed? All right. So new character, offline. Oh, say legacy. Okay. Generate name. That's fine. We're just going to get rid of him anyway. So, like, we could literally put our shared stash here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll do all that off screen. All right, first off, Dirts, if you think YouTube is going to throw away tens of thousands of dollars a year because somebody didn't have a mod on staff right now with like somebody talking about it and somebody else doing something else, it's How do y'all know Jay Searcy got docs? I don't want anybody to get doxxed. Because, like, I know I have sycophants that follow me. And, like, this is just what they do. They either pay for, like, people's docs information. Because, like, they can't just do... you can't just... They can't just, like... Because, like, I've had, like, trolls call, like, third cousins trying to get, like, my phone number. Because, like, I recently changed my phone number. And they'll call anybody they can find a phone, because what they do is they go to these websites that buy information, and they just keep buying until something hits. I wish Jay Searcy was still here, so I had a way to talk to him. Because when he was talking about being a horror podcast, I'm like, oh, that's bad. But I didn't want to say it because, like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Didn't want to say it. You'll make a PK reunion show. Kyle said I'm a traitor. I think a lot of that gets blown out of proportion. Like let's take the last Woody event, for example. Like, Woody said I treated him poorly on the Lords of the Fallen stream. And, like, maybe they're not as, like, used to the level of, like, vitriol that I have to deal with every day. But, like, what most of the misunderstanding with Woody is, like, yeah, did I say some shit I probably shouldn't have said? Like, I was unhappy with the viewers, right? That, you know, it is what it is. Like, because, like, the streams were like 4 or 5 hours long, and they didn't have a whole lot of viewers. I didn't make a whole lot of money doing them, but I still enjoyed playing with Woody, so I did them anyway, right? That was the thing. And basically all I was saying was, like, I wish it did better, because I felt they were good streams, if that makes sense. I felt like they were things people wanted to see, but nobody showed up for them. In a way that means that things people didn't want to see. But regardless, it had nothing to do with the stream of my life. But people take this shit and they spin it and they spin it and they spin it. And, like, yeah, calling his stuff snake oil, that's me. That's my bad. Right? And I apologize for it. I apologize for it. Redface, I dropped you a message in X if you could respond when you get time, man. And I apologize for it. And, like, look, I think I've grown a lot as a person in that regard in the last fucking 18 years. Right? But I feel like I carry the bane of like, especially with, like, Woody and Kyle, of younger Jordy, where, like, I was more hard-headed and I was more Republican. Like, I'm still the same person in a nutshell, but I'm a lot more dulled out now. Like, I'm not a sharp razor that always wants to fight and contest people anymore. I'm still outspoken. I'm still opinionated, but I would like to think that, you know, time has given me a more favorable view of how things work. But I think, like, trolling in general, just they took all that and they made it worse. They had people come in, oh, Wings talking shit. Just people did it the other day with DSP. Other day with DSP. Oh, DSP's talking shit about you. DSP says you're not going to ever get him a kick. He's going to stop you. No, he didn't say any of that. But the problem is, if you hear it from enough people, you think that's what you think you actually heard. And if you look at a clip out of context with an impression already in mind, you might get the impression that you have, you know, projected in your mind, right? The truth of the matter is like, I enjoyed playing Lords of the Fallen with Woody. I hoped we would do more of that in the future, and it didn't happen. You know, he got mad at me. He's basically, you know, not really spoken to me since, and that's on him. Like I'm like who you choose to let in your life is your own personal business. I wish we could still be friends. But he would say like, "Oh, your actions prove otherwise." Well, that's his opinion. I can only offer the friendship and like accept that you don't want to be my friend, that kind of thing. I don't know what to do with the situation. Maybe time heals all. Maybe he's too jaded at this point on the idea of being friends with me. But it is what it is. With Kyle, on the other hand, like people say I lie about Kyle all the time. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, what did I lie about? Everything I've ever said has been true. Everything I've ever said has been true. And like they've lied about me. They've literally cultivated like this army of incels that fuck with me for the last 10 years. But saying that certain things I said about Kyle was like for example, like that gets brought up all the time is like I say that Kyle shared like pornography with me from YouTube. He did that. There's not a thing. I go, there's no porn on YouTube. He goes, Kyle's like, well, here's some porn on YouTube. Boom. That's it. I can't help other people in the fucking chat are calling it something else. That's not me. Not me, right? And I feel like Kyle wants to be my friend more than Woody does. And it is what it is. I know I'm stuttering a lot because I'm like trying to think about things while I'm doing this. But Kyle comes off more as like somebody that wanted to be my friend. And he's just hurt by it, right? But to say like he'd rather go back to prison than live with me, what did I fucking do? I'm a good roommate. Like I tend to stay to myself. I usually wear a headset most of the time. Yeah, I stream. I get a little bit loud when I stream. But it is the thing. Ed says, Wings just bought me a 2026 Chevrolet Trailboss LT. Thanks for motivation. You're on my streams, and your streams, my boy. Ed Rod, what engine you get, bud? What color? Hey, Jim VC2. Well, you gotta understand, Omega. Like I've come from a world where like I owned the house I lived in for the most of my adult life. So like I went from like, and if I want to shit with the door open in my house, I'm gonna shit with the door open in my house. It's just something that I personally do in my own home, and it's a habit I can't break. Like for example, the Trail Boss has keyless entry, right? It has that passive entry where like you don't actually have to take the keys out of your pocket. You just press a button on the door handle and it unlocks the door. You hop in, you press a button and it cranks the truck up. You don't have to get the keys out of your pocket at all. But every day, without fail, I take these keys out of my pocket and I hit the unlock button on it. I open the door, I get in, and I sit them into on my console and like I press the button, right? Because I've been hitting that key fob for 20 plus years and I can't physically stop myself from doing it. I've been shitting with the door open for 20 fucking years. Dude, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And subbing again, dude. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim BC2. And it's muscle memory. He told me not to do it, and I stopped doing it. You put a thought process into it. Like, to make a big deal out of that is stupid. It's stupid. 2 more months and I reach the 3-year mark. I'll give another membership gift. Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. Talk about the game. Well, we're winding the stream down at this point. We've been going for about 3 hours now. We're close to it. Dude, I have no advice for gaming chairs. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm sitting in a gaming chair that I hate. I have a $250 game chair over here that has an 8-year warranty. Fucking hate it. I bought another chair that my wife uses now for like $500. And I thought it was going to be the creme de la creme, the biggest gaming chair in the world. Big Dog City. Hated that motherfucker. Hated it. As a big dude, I have to look at everything. What can this weight carry? How wide is the seat? Is the seat supportive? Like, there's just too many variables, and there's too many big chairs out there that fucking suck. Right? I want to try the Titan XL, but they cost $600 by themselves, and I hate the race car chairs. Hate them. I hate the way they look. Crasco's a troll now. Last time I seen. Herman Miller doesn't make chairs heavy, built in my weight parameters. Like, I'd love to get a Herman Miller, but I'm not spending $2,000 to be disappointed. Dude, I'd love to get like one of those old van cloth seats from like one of those old Ford vans and put like casters on it so it rolls around. Like, those are fucking good chairs. Just in my opinion. I'm gonna play Arc Raiders here soon. But I think Warlock DLC came out today, and I think this was the only day I could ever get away with playing Diablo 2 and people would actually show up to it. So I figured I'd take the chance. But Jay Searchy, if you got me, reach out to me, buddy. Especially if you actually did get doxxed. But I am going to watch your podcast. Will you play more D2? These streams were the chillest. Cool, Josh. Possibly. Oh, we made a lot of money. Holy shit. I mean, more than I deserve. Can you play Cory in the House? I don't even know what Cory in the House is about. Like, what does the gameplay even look like on Cory in the House? I had to look that up. Well, somebody sent me a message yesterday on Steam that stated that E-Rob is doing a 1,000 death challenge, beating Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and he has like an open challenge that nobody can do it. I know he's being facetious with this, but it's like, do I beat Dark Souls 1? Like, no fucking like tactics or nothing like that. Just straight up beat. Because I can beat Dark Souls 1 in probably about 4 hours. Like, if I could just start fresh all the way through, I could probably beat Dark Souls 1 in about 4 hours. And I can do it in less than 10 deaths. I've beaten Dark Souls 2 without dying, but Dark Souls 2 takes probably 15 to 20 hours to beat. Michael, do I get anxious one day the donation will stop? One day the donations will stop, Michael. I don't know when that day is. But the thing is like nothing in life is set in stone. One day you stop breathing. One day everybody you love is already gone and in the ground. You can't look at life based on like what ifs, right? What if I took another way to work? I wouldn't hit that deer. What if I won the lottery? What if I did this? I hope, with the hopest of hopes, that if I can be myself and be realistic enough, I can get people that won't actually show up. Two things I got to consider is I need to be more consistent with times, and I need to be more consistent with like games that people actually want to watch play. I think Those are the two things I can control. I can't control if people donate or not. I can't control what other people do with their free time if they want to harass me or do things like that. All I can control is when I show up and how I interact and deal with people or make people feel. That's all I can do. No, if you send shirts my way, 5XL. Those are the comfortable ones. And if you send me a shirt, and I hate to be a beggar, be a chooser, but every time I get a shirt, Kelly wants a shirt too. So like, that's usually because I usually get that lecture every time somebody sends me something. Where do I see myself in 7 days? Hopefully on the end of a successful stream playing, living that Reanimal money. Because that happens in 2 days and I still need somebody to play with it. It sucks, Jim. And like, I know people hit Phil with the e-beggar thing all the time. And I do. I'm an e-beggar to an extent as well. But like, the thing is like you set goals in your head every day when you wake up and you're not entitled to nobody's fucking money, right? You're entitled to nobody's money. But you feel like a fucking failure and it starts to weigh on your conscience if you're not making any money whatsoever for that stream. Because like to me personally, it feels like, all right, this whole day I made nothing, right? I could have went and did gig work and at least made something that was guaranteed. But like at the same time, you kind of weigh on one hand, like chasing a dream versus, being fiscally responsible. And one of the things I have trouble with, like with foresight, is like every bad day could be offset by a good day further on in the month. And I have a doom and gloom attitude. And that's what I'm trying to throw away because like I'm fundamentally ruined as a person. And it's because I've dealt with like the drums of society for the last decade, let's call it. It's not exactly a decade at this point, but it's getting close to it. And it's kind of destroyed me on an emotional level. Like I don't even get anxiety anymore. Like I quit taking my medicine because I don't get anxiety anymore because I'm so like emotionally stunted that everything I hit, everything that it hits me that should be emotional is getting responded to with stoicism. I don't get anxious about things. I don't stress about things. I don't worry about things. I don't laugh about things. I don't look forward to things. I just exist as this big, fat, gray blob. And like, I don't know how to change that. But I do know that people really enjoy me in like a podcast setting. I know people really enjoy me when I talk about comments. And like, even if I'm dead wrong about something, people enjoy fighting with me about me being dead wrong about something. And I think that's the only way really forward. Because if you stay sitting around spinning your tires, you're going to sit here sitting around spinning your tires. Why am I always explaining myself? Because people find me interesting. That's why I'm explaining myself, Tucker Matthew. See, I'm not even emotional. Not even that emotional. I don't have the feds on speed dial. I hate talking to the FBI. Hate it. Because like, one, like, God, Lord. Their FBI, in my opinion, is like genius through volume, right? Like there's so many brains at work, they eventually will figure something out. But each individual part is very, very like dealing with middle management. Every little individual part's like dealing with middle management. They all have the little intricacies on how to crack a case. And you got to learn how each individual person interacts with like a case. I didn't stress. I just don't. I don't want Redface to leave and not be my friend because he feels like he's obligated to give me money. He's not obligated to give me money, and I don't want Jay Surtrey to like life get worse because he wants to interact with me or even, donate to my cause, right? Because I feel like I felt like I got more connected with him today because of the horror movies, and I'd love to watch his podcast. I'm probably going to listen to his podcast and play Baldur's Gate some point tonight. And like I've lost enough friends, I don't need to lose more. But it is what it is. Dr. Greg says hi. No, it's not my birthday. My birthday's in April. Hey, Wings, you kind of look like Stevie Wonders. How do I look like Stevie Wonders? He had like a goatee and he was black. And sunglasses because he was blind. Yeah. There was 7 Spanish angels. Dr. Gray. All right, guys. Thanks to everybody for coming out to the stream. Thanks to everybody for chilling with your boy. Big ups to Jay Surtrey. If people are rational, reach out to me, man. I can give you a good idea of what needs to happen. If that's just a lie, thank you so much for the $100+ of donations. I hope I'm going to give your podcast a listen. I hope we can actually become friends privately. Always remember that I do have a Discord. It is free. There is a paid member slot as well. So if you are a member of a rat, if you're a Discord rat or higher, you can get into the paid member section. But there is a free section. I did an hour-long talk in the Gulag today. I'm going to try to start doing things like that and try to make like plans of like, hey, we're going to do a 2-hour talk here, or maybe even do a movie night over in the Discord. So if you really want to be in the Discord, there is a process of getting into it because we try to keep trolls out. But thank you, Jim, for the 5 gifted subs, man. Appreciate all the love. Hope everybody had a wonderful time. I'm out of 5,000.